Hello and welcome to the Flipping and Wholesaling Houses in New York show. I am Michael Pinter, where I teach you how to start flipping or wholesaling houses, or if you're already doing it, how to grow your business. Now, I had a question, interesting question. It's how do you respond to people who ask, why do you want to buy my property? Now, there was also a follow-up part to the question that we'll deal with at the end of what happens when they ask, are you going to flip the property? So let's talk about this. So I get asked, or my callers or my lead manager gets asked this question 1,000 times a week probably. Why do you want to buy the property? The answer is I'm an investor. I'm trying to make money. Now, remember the three most beautiful sentences. I've spoken about them before. I love them. I think they're the greatest thing you can ever say to a prospect. And they are, I'm an investor. That's one. I have to buy properties at a discount to make money. That's two. And three, it sounds like we're not such a good fit. That is the ultimate push off that you're going to push a prospect away. And no prospects are hearing that, right? What are they hearing? They're hearing, oh God, I need water. One second, let me get water. Right, what are prospects hearing from your competitors? They're hearing, oh, we're going to close in 24 hours. I'll buy your property. I want to buy. When you push away, you are going to get very different reactions. And when you tell somebody like, we're not a good fit, because it sounds like you want full retail. Sounds like you want full price for the property. So the reason why those sentences are so beautiful is because only two things can happen from them, and both are great. The first is the guy goes, you're right. And then you go, okay, bye-bye. Hang up the phone. And now you have wasted no more time on somebody who was never going to sell you the house. That's awesome. The second thing that can happen is the truth comes out. And it happens, I would say, I don't know, between 10 and 20% of the time, where then the guy goes, whoa, wait a second. I really can't show the property because I have 27 single room occupancy illegal tenants in there. Oh, I can't show the property because I have a kitchen. I think my grandfather built an addition, never got a permit. Then you start finding out the truth, right? Oh, it's really in horrible condition. Oh, I haven't been there. I can't even get there. I can't show. So it's a beautiful thing. When you push away from a prospect, that's when they are attracted to you, or they go away. Either way, it's perfect. Either way, it's a win. It's a win if they say goodbye, and it's a win if they say, wait a second. So you want to push away. But you want to be honest. Now, this question was sort of asked in the context that God forbid the seller should find that you're flipping the property. So listen, I am not 100% transparent about wholesaling a property. I'm not. And I'm not transparent because, and I frame this, and maybe it's my own subconscious that's doing this, but I frame it in the context of the reason why I'm not telling the guy, hey, I'm going to go out into the market and try and find another buyer is because a lot of people don't understand what that means. And I don't want to confuse a seller. In general, a confused mind says no. I don't want to confuse people. So when I even get into assignability, because remember, standard contracts in New York have clause 26, which says not assignable. So I tell the seller beforehand, listen, I need this assignable. I don't get into the fact that, hey, I want to assign this and make a quick profit on it without closing. So, because I don't want to confuse them, right? They don't know what assignment means. They don't know what wholesaling means. They don't know what these things mean. I don't want to teach it to them, right? So, something in my throat's driving me bananas. The idea is, I want it assignable, and it may end up in another entity. Now, if somebody says, hey, you're going to flip it. I understand if they go flip it. Yeah, I say, yeah, I may flip it, right? I may fix the property up and sell it. I may send it to a partner of mine who's going to do the work. I may do that. But why do you care, right? We're going to negotiate a price, right? If you agree on the price, why do you care what I do with the property after? Now, if the guy's, now we all think, right? This is what we think, that the seller's thing is, well, I don't want to leave money on the table. And I would say, listen, if you don't want to leave money on the table, list it for sale, right? List it for sale. I'll list it for you, list it with somebody else, list it for sale. That'll get you the most money, right? Now, I take listings, so I can say that and not feel bad. If you don't take listings, you still should say that. Now, why, right? You're not going to get the listing. Who cares, right? If the guy is going to list a property, chances are he's going to list it anyway. If a guy has an innate fear of leaving money on the table, he's probably not going to sell to you at a significant discount. And if he is, he's going to do that anyway. Right? We're all afraid that if we tell a prospect a suggestion of doing something that every idiot knows, right? Everybody knows they can list a property for sale. That's an option. But if I tell them to list it, I'm going to lose a deal. It's a ridiculous fear. Ridiculous, right? Every prospect knows. I go through sometimes a prospect, I go, why don't you list it? I want to know why he's not listing it. Why don't you keep it? I want to know why he doesn't want to keep it. Why don't you keep it and rent it? Why don't you just rent it, right? And when you ask these questions, you find out, A, what your next best competition is, right? This is from the great John Martinez. Who are you really competing with, right? Are you competing with somebody keeping the property? Are you competing with somebody listing the property? What are you competing with? You find out, and you find out what the real motivation is. And guess what? If there's no real motivation, if the guy says, well, I have 3 siblings I have to split it with, and we all want X dollars, and the only way to get that is by listing it, you never had a deal that you were going to buy at a discount anyway. So being straight with people to find out what the real motivation is. I mean, we don't take advantage of people. I mean, I know that this question came from someone, and there are a lot of people out there who feel like we take advantage, right? We buy a property at a discount, we immediately wholesale to somebody else. We screwed the seller over. We didn't screw the seller over. We solved the seller's problem. The only way we buy a property is if we solve a problem, right? Some problem that seller has. Seller may not want to list it for whatever reason. They feel it can't go retail. They feel that they just want X price. Whatever it is, we solve a problem. If we can't solve a seller problem, we don't buy a property. That's it. It's that simple. It is a simple transaction, and they are giving up, and they know they are giving up some of their proceeds from the sale for the certainty and convenience that we provide, right? The certainty that our price is the price, it's not going to change. The certainty that we're going to close. We're not going to show up 3 months later and say, I'm sorry, I got denied on my mortgage. That's certainty, and the convenience of not having to show it 1,000 times, not having people call them and bug them, not having to deal with the issues of cleaning it up and dealing with the municipality. That is it. We provide certainty and convenience. It is the same thing as paying $6 for a cup of coffee in Starbucks. It is exactly the same thing. It is absurd that we pay $6 for a cup of coffee at Starbucks. Absurd. The actual, including the cup and everything we put in there, the actual ingredients cost 30 cents, 20 cents if you buy it in bulk. Why are we paying hundreds of times what it costs? And we're doing it because of certainty and convenience. I don't want to buy a coffee maker. I don't want to grind the beans. I don't want to buy the cups. I don't want to buy the stirrers. I don't want to buy the creamer. I don't want to buy that crap. I want to know when I go to Starbucks, it's there and I get it. And I'm willing to pay 20 times what this thing is really worth for the certainty and convenience. And it is exactly the same thing when a seller sells a property to us. It is the certainty and convenience we provide. And the mistaken thinking that if I give this guy other options, I'm going to lose the deal is foolish. Everybody knows they can list the property. Everybody knows they can keep a property. Everybody knows they can rent the property. Everybody knows these things, right? But most people do not want to list for whatever reason, and there's a whole host of reasons they don't want to list. They don't want to keep paying taxes on a property they're not making money on, and they don't want to be a landlord. That's why we buy properties. That's it. It's simple. We provide certainty and convenience to the seller. And you want to push back. Somebody says, why do you want to have a property? I go, I'm an investor. I want to make money on it. That is it, right? The guy goes, what if you flip it? I say, yeah, I may flip it. What do you care, right? We're going to agree on a price. Once we agree on that price, I'm going to pay that price. And then what happens after should be none of your concern, right? Do you want to get involved in building a list of people that may want to buy it? I mean, do you want to do that? I've never really had that issue. I've had somebody go, well, I don't want you to flip it. And I'm like, why do you care if I flip it? And he's like, well, I don't want to leave any money on the table. I go, then you should go list it. Well, I can't list it because it's in horrible condition. I go, then an investor like me is going to be the one that you want to go to. I go, but if I make money, are you saying that I can't make money? That happens once in a while. It's very rare. This is a question that exists because of what's the word I'm looking for? There's definitely a word for it, and I can't think of it. Mental limitations that we have where we all think that, again, this question definitely came from someone who thinks that we are somehow taking advantage of sellers, and we're not. We're not taking advantage of anybody, right? We're helping them solve problems. And if they don't have a problem we can solve by buying it, then we're not going to buy the property. I hope this was helpful. I hope I got into enough of it. But basically, someone asked me why I own a property. I go, I'm an investor. I want to make money on it. So if you're interested in all the ways I can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com. If you are interested in my course that teaches how to do this, go to howtoflipnewyorkcourse.com. If you're interested in coaching from me, go to coaching.howtoflipnewyork.com. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. And if you are watching on any channel, please give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up really helps me. It helps my SEO, my search engine optimization. So I appreciate that. And keep the comments coming. This came from a recent comment. I try to answer all comments. If it's a simple answer, I'll just reply. If it's a topic that I've maybe covered in depth or covered recently, I'll send you a link to the video or videos. And if it's something I haven't handled ever, this was a question I don't think I ever covered before, or if it's something I haven't covered in a while, I'll do a video on it. So I really want to thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Keep the comments coming. The comments help me. I go live 5 times a week. Sometimes I don't have a clue as to what I'm going to say. And The comments really give me material to use, and I appreciate the comments. So there are no bad comments. All comments get replied to. Thank you very, very much for watching.